So just to really
Mm.
finalize,
Yeah.
I hope you understand what we discussed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, so as I was saying,
Mm.
I'm thinking, so there are different options. Like I was saying,
Mm.
you can ask if the preference is point to point, which is one system, AP, the practice management system, integrate
Mm.
the digital signing system like
Mm.
directly. Just using API, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is an option, right? But the optimal option, I think, might be to build a data lake.
Yeah.
The data lake, like I mentioned, or data warehouse, houses
Mm.
data. So the
Okay.
API would first sweep the data from practice management to data lake,
Yeah.
and you build
Yeah.
API on top of the data lake for any other third-party system. So the advantage of that is that any system whatsoever, right,
Yeah.
can talk to the API of the data lake to get the data that is, available on APAC, on practice management system.
Mm.
Do you understand now?
Yeah.
What we
Yeah.
what we just need to do is to make sure that there's a job or there's a service, it's called a job, that takes data from practice management and put it in the warehouse. And then API can be built on, the data lake so that any system, such as like I showed you here, they have these are document and e-signature platforms, right?
Mm.
Because you'll be working on integrations tomorrow or next quarter, it might be, let me see another category. They might say it's company compliance, see, company
Mm.
compliance application that they need to connect. If you do point to point, what
Mm.
will usually happen is that it will be in terms of every time. Can you hear me?
Yeah. 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 I can.
So if you do point to point, you just imagine we've seen three here, we've seen three from nature and document. There are other,
Mm.
see, there are other categories as well. See,
Yeah.
SMSF also have
Mm.
integration too. And this one also have anti-money laundry has one. Yeah. Data
Mm.
integrity has one.
Yeah.
Engagement and debtors has one. You see,
Mm.
it's a lot, right? If you
Yeah.
do point to point, you just have all those systems. You do one to
Yeah.
Fuse sign, one to DocuSign, another integration to
Mm.
Fee Synergy, another one to an anti-money laundry, another one to SMSF, whatever application.
Yeah.
If you are like 30 here, you will now be doing
Yeah.
one to one. It's a lot of integration and it
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
will not be easily managed, right? But
Yeah. Yeah.
if you do horizontal as well, it's still a lot, right? But the main system will sit, which is our source of truth. Remember,
Mm.
it's just like, as I said, it's just like uh, the company that manufactures goods. But
Yeah.
instead of a warehouse,
Yep.
everybody comes to the company to talk to the company directly to get. So if I have 10 other companies that rely on me to get goods, they will come to our gate
Mm.
all directly using API to collect the,
Mm.
you understand, they
Yeah.
will come to our gate to collect the goods directly
Yes.
because
Yeah.
horizontal integration. right?
Yeah.
But if it's the cloud one, right, it will now be like, this is the company that produce goods, but we have a warehouse, which is our
Mm.
data lake, right? But
Mm.
data starts from us. We are the source of truth. We have a warehouse. It's just like we produce the goods here in
Mm.
Obat, but
Yeah.
have a warehouse in Launceston, right?
Mm.
But even though it's our warehouse in Launceston, somehow the goods we produce in Obat needs to go to Launceston so that other partners can just go to Launceston to take the goods and use it for whatever they want to use it for. You understand?
Yeah.
Now let's relate it to API. So we have practice management in Obat. It has a data lake in, it's not location. I just want you to really understand.
Yep. Yep.
It
Yep.
has a data lake in Launceston. We now use API. When we produce the data in Obat, how do we produce data? We've collected information, client information. We've collected their name. We've collected their phone number. Collected their email address. We've collected what else? I think those are the data, right?
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
in our case study, our
Email.
focus is email address, but is
Yeah.
applicable. However, you see why I'm saying it depends on conversation. We can put all our data in lossless data lake or data warehouse using API. API will take it because we've implemented it or implemented a job that will take all the data and push it maybe every 1 hour or every 12 a.m. We don't want to do
Yeah.
it every 1 hour because that will be too much load, stress on the system. Because remember, we have many clients that are using that are entering data on practice management. You don't want to be doing heavy lifting data too. The stress will be too much. So let's do it maybe every evening, right?
Yeah.
However, if they say real time means something is happening ahead, then but it means they will increase the computing resources. You understand?
Okay.
But the whole point is we now use our API, sweep the data to Launceston.
Yeah.
It's good. We use lorry to carry it, but we're talking in computer terms. We use API to take it to data lake in Launceston, right? So whatever data we have on practice, we will now have in our data lake. Now, what does that help us do? So because we have many company, accounting company, right, doing digital signature, doing anti-money, doing different application that they want to connect, right, to this thing, to practice management. You understand? You know, anti-money laundering is helping to see traces of, oh, are they using our system to do fraud, all of those things, you know, flag things. DocuSign, you know what, sorry, digital signing, you know what that does, which is your phone. So because all those systems are connected to practice management, in terms of the data, we say because we want every data that is in the source of truth. Now, our source of truth will also be in our data lake. Because, you know, we've moved API, we've used API to move the data to our data lake in Launceston. Every guy will now be going to Launceston to take the data. They'll use the API they have that can talk to the data lake and can talk to them to switch that to them. So what does that tell us? Every data that we have on practice management, at least in a day lake test, they will always get that data too on their end. We're using a day because of theoretic, it can be real time. It can be one,
Mm,
you understand? Depends on how they want to do it. You understand?
mm,
So that at least every day, if I go to DocuSign, I would
yeah.
have that email. You know that email that accounting A firm has entered inside practice management. I would also
Mm,
have that email in their third-party system that they've integrated to the data lake, because the API there has taken it from data lake and updated it on their end. So
yeah.
why the benefit of that is that we're not killing this practice management system. We're not talking to him directly. We're talking to the data lake. And as many people as possible can just talk to that API to get that data every time. They just the data. So it will help them do this type of integration where they have any third-party system. So what those third-party systems, they'll just be facing that data lake to take data. And me, I'll just be pushing the data to data lake. You understand the relationship now?
Yeah.
But if there's no, if you want to do horizontal, it means all these guys will just come straight to APAC. What if APAC crashes? Like the database for APAC, because many load at once coming to pull data. Because data is also heavy. If you have
Yeah.
like 1,000 accounting firm, for example, they are all trying to pull data at once. My data can crash, my system can be affected because that database now, we are doing normal imputing. We are trying to take data out of it as well. Somebody is doing reporting as well for financial planning, whatever. Much load. So if you do horizontal, it's also good. However, you might have performance issue.
Okay. Yeah.
You might have performance because all of them are just, it's just like we all come to, it's like what happens in clearing depot. We all come to the depot to take goods, to clear our goods. Then there will be traffic locked. You know how our Papa is.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the whole idea. And
Okay.
discussion is what they want to know. Like, how are you thinking about this? Do you know what the issue is? The issue is that currently there's no integration between practice management and the new client document signing platform. You understand? They want you to suggest or to discuss how you will tackle it. You can go and say, oh, I think we should do point to point. I've explained why point to point might not be the best.
Yeah.
Because if you have many systems, all of them are connecting to you, then there will be problem. If you do horizontal, the same thing. If you do cloud, it has its own issues too. It's just the issue is just that it's not very good for real time. Because you don't, I said, if it's occasional, just when the system is resting, maybe in the night when all the system are a bit calm, you push those data to data lake and people can go and take, the API here will also run and push it to their system. So by the morning, they have the system. Or
Yeah.
they do it every 3 hours. It's still
Okay.
better. But
Okay.
if you do point to point, it might be real time, but when you now have many integration, many company bringing different software, they want to connect to you, then it becomes messy. You understand? So
Yeah.
it's not just having that discussion. Like here, I've detailed it. To build integration or to do any integration, although it's the developers that will be telling you, you'll be discussing what do you need. But to do any kind of to build an API is response and request. Request response.
Yeah.
You understand? You can be requesting for email data. in this case, your API will be requesting for email data from the data lake if you do the cloud approach. Or even if it's point to point, you'll be requesting for email that is on practice management and sending it to the third-party application.
Yeah.
You understand? So third party will say, give me email. That's the request. You tell the
API.
API, give me email.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let me just show you so you understand. I want to show you the one that you relate. Let's So I'm looking for the one that you really understand.
What about like the challenges that it said? What are the challenges that we might face? Do you have example that I might be able to give?
That's what I described. Like if you
Oh,
do
okay.
depends on the approach you take, the different
Yes.
challenges that you
Okay. So the
challenge
challenges I should talk about should just be with regards to the integration itself.
the integration. Yeah, you can
General.
the
Okay.
integration. We talk about point to point this thing. You can talk about the challenges that will happen with that in terms of getting that two-way update. Also, you can talk about the different advantage. Then also, you can talk about the fact that, okay, is the only email that they need to sync because you don't know if email will be sufficient for completing the whole signing thing.
Yeah.
It's not enough authentication for signing. So it's the only email data they will need from practice management, that kind of thing.
Okay.
But again, it's part of it's discussion that will lead you to. It depends on where you want to tailor the discussion, but that's why I've given you all the facts.
Yeah, different scenarios. Yeah.
Yeah, the different facts, scenario, understanding the issue.
Yeah.
The issue right now, you need email to sync between two systems. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Why am I not seeing a simple? Just want to show you a simple. So see this. Can you see this?
Yeah.
See, this is the sign up kind of. Yeah. See the details that is there. Name, username, email, address, phone number, website, all these things. This is a request posted, from one point to another. So
Okay.
you know how you enter this on your form,
Yeah.
any sign up form. This is how it is from the API perspective.
Okay.
Now post this to the database to go and keep this record so that next time when you want to log in, it knows your username, it knows your email. Now tell
Okay.
you to create password as well.
Yeah.
I don't think there's password here, but you get the idea. So that next time, once you enter your username as birth or
Mm.
email and you
Yeah.
enter your password, it will allow you to bring, you know that, okay, it's this guy.
Mm.
So this is how the API looks. This is the body, the post request that will be
Yeah.
sent um to the application,
Yeah.
the backend. It will now if he's successful to say 200 like this, okay.
Okay.
You've browsed some system before, you see 404 bad
Yeah.
request.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's an error you get. So there are different status code, there's unauthorized as well. So there are different, this is how API is, the backend.
Mm.
And
Okay.
you see how it carries the name, email, all those things.
Yeah.
You understand? So it sends a request, and gets a response.
Yeah.
Right. So now in that case, I assume you'll be carrying email alone
Yeah.
to your third-party application so that that guy can have it in his own DB. If it's point to point, if it's lake, it will go from the lake, take the email there,
Yeah.
the API, and store in his own DB.
Yeah.
So my friend, sleep on it, think about it, just read the document. I can share this video with you as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you
Yes.
can watch it again
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
just calibrate the discussion. Good thing we recorded it as well. So that will just give you that base, but understand the problem.
Yeah.
The feature they want you to work on is an integration to, they said we need to complete integration with XYZ software
Mm.
to sync email information for a digital platform. That's what they need you to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's an integration to this XYX software.
Mm.
And what is it taking? It's taking email address
Mm.
only.
Yeah.
The issue is now the type of integration first. There can be other issues, right? So it's not just one issue, but the more, at least you start the discussion from what you know, based on how you're thinking about this. You understand? And another issue is, are they really sure it's the only email address, this digital platform
Mm.
in to sign document, those things you can also ask them, like, yeah, you're just trying to, that would also guide if they need other information,
Yeah.
that would so you know that you also, it's the same concept, you need to push those information as well.
Yeah.
Then the different integration option, right? And then
Mm.
you're talking about eventually you're
Mm.
talking about, okay, the user story, the goal of what you're trying to, what issue you're trying to fix.
Mm.
And you can the user stories, you can't possibly write all the user stories on your own. You need to
Yeah.
discuss with your
Discuss it.
team. And
Yeah.
so if they are saying, maybe they say, talk about 2 or 3 user stories, it's fine. I've talked about one. The main goal is to integrate to XYS software to sync email address
Mm.
from the source of truth, which is APA, this thing. Another one is to define integration approach.
Yeah.
Which integration approach are we taking?
Yeah.
Another one will be for developer anyway, data mapping.
Mm.
Because you need to map data to, like, data, for example, in the way practice management system works is different from the way that third party
Yeah.
system, how they implemented their email, right? So that API, for it to understand, for it to link, what is on API practice management and that
Mm.
XYZ software
Mm.
to map the fields. You understand? It's
Yeah.
just like you're trying to enter my house without my key. It's not possible. You understand? So you can look at data mapping as well, just to give you more
Yeah.
understanding. So, but data mapping is not really going to be your job. You
Yeah.
can just mention it to feel good, like, yeah, you
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
have technical data
Yeah.
map. When you map the fields, right? You know, I showed you a sample API now. You see, those things, those email, those things are fields. There are things that you enter on the front end.
Mm.
You understand?
Yeah.
In this front end, they will be entering name, address, phone number, email, call client information, like maybe business name, all of those things.
Mm.
So that thing needs to be sent to the backend to store in APA, practice management DB as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Same concept.
Yeah.
So I think that should be, and in the interview, they might ask you some questions, they might give you more concepts, you know, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me know how it goes.
No
Just
problem.
read about digest
Yeah.
this
Sure.
thing. I'll share the video with you as well. Look
Okay.
at it again, go over
Mm.
the discussion, make sure
Mm.
you're ready. You know, if you have any clarification,
Yeah.
message me, let's talk about it.
No problem.
Maybe on WhatsApp, and then I
Mm.
think you kill it. You'll be able to.
No problem. Thanks. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah. I actually need to go to work as well.
Okay. Okay. No problem. No problem. All right.